Hear the music. Come from all corners of the world, all corners of the globe to come and talk to you about the off night. And why? Because it's important. It's about comedy, folks. The change in comedy. How comedy is turning our lives around. And also, I can't think of anything else. Honestly, if it wasn't for comedy, I'd probably be psychologically damaged. But maybe comedy does the psychological damage. Who knows? But I feel better after watching a good show. That's the problem, trying to find a good show. So you got to look around and find some really good comics, and we're going to try and help you with that. And not only that, we're going to talk about life and everything underneath the sun that comedy touches. And to do that, we're going to talk to Mark Sweetman, your host at MC.
Hey, great to be back here with you. Welcome to the off night. Let me get Andy back up here. I'm Mark Sweetman. I'm your host with the most. Oh, I did something wrong here. What did I do wrong? Let's try this. There we go. There.
Hey, guy.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you watched the Detroit Lions this week?
I did not. I rarely see preseason games. They put them on times that are not Sunday afternoon at 1, 4, or 8.
That's true. It's a Saturday afternoon.
So I miss a lot. I miss Monday night games. I miss Thursday night games unless the Lions are playing, and I miss. I guess I will see college games. I never see the college game that I want to see because when it's time for me to sit down and watch a game or something, it's whatever's on. So, which
you don't really watch the college games, huh?
I don't watch as many as I'd like to. Here's how I should wait and get my wife in before I talk about my wife. But I'll watch a game, and her reaction is always that I should know she doesn't like to watch football. She likes to be at the games, but she doesn't like to watch it on television. And occasionally, she'll figure out that I don't have any rooting interest in either one of the teams, and that really bothers her. Because I'm watching a game that means nothing to me, but I'm still watching it. It's kind of like
it's a Seinfeld game. It's a game about nothing. Okay,
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Anyway,
about nothing. All right.
So it's the end of August in what has been both a great and a horrible summer. So I'm hoping the fall season is better and much the same because I had a good summer and a bad summer. So, and all that's kind of personal, but.
Well, as Jerry Seinfeld would say, you're even Steven.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds right.
Anyway. Steven. He's even Steven.
Yeah. So how was your week?
Busy. A lot of interesting things. I had to pay off a lot of constantly. My back is against the wall a lot of the time on trying to get these bills paid. But I'm doing okay. We finally were able to repair the car today. Got some new tires on. Got the oil changed.
It's pretty
fixed the fan by myself using mirrors and a.
What did you do by it? What did you do by yourself? What did you do?
Well, see, there's a fan that goes up underneath the dashboard, and I went on
YouTube.
YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can never remember it, Yeah. And I looked how to repair it, and the thing is, it's pretty easy to repair. However, it's in a place. Is
that? Oh, go ahead.
And I guess Toyota doesn't want me to tell the people what happens. Anyway, it's underneath the. I can't reach in, so it's like So I had, in order to find the nuts, I had to use a mirror with a light. So
that sounds like my own body. But anyway,
there we go. I had to find the weak place, But I got it to work out. It worked out. So, and it's working now. And finally, it was very difficult for having no air conditioning for about a week. So that was the incentive. And the part is actually unusually expensive for a fan.
Well, let's get Well, a good thing you got your air conditioning fixed because it's getting even hotter this week.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
we got heat advisories and everything coming up. So.
Oh yeah, it was a wise move on my part, and I chopped off my hair, so that's it.
That looks pretty good. And if you weren't going to be a Santa, Santa can wear hair like that.
Yeah, I put the hat on. It's okay. It's right over here.
You have to wear the. Have you ever seen Santa off season? How is he supposed to look? Is he supposed to look the way you look, or?
Actually, I've seen many Santas that are most of them have long hair. Most of them have long, hair during the summer.
Yeah.
Once you put the hat on, only the beard really is.
Only the beard is seen. Exactly. So there's no reason for. Yeah. So don't suffer. Don't suffer, Santa. You wear your hair short.
So if I don't have the long curly locks, I don't have to bleach those curly locks.
Good point.
Not having to do much lately. As I get older, that becomes less and less of a problem. But the beard, I always have to bleach the beard. Now it's mostly the mustache.
All right. Now, what time of year are you going to bleach that? Is that coming up in? Is that going to be like Halloween time, or when do you start bleaching your beard?
Usually about the first week in November.
That's Halloween. About Halloween time, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's like that'll happen, and then I can make it last for about 3 weeks. So.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. Well, having to do much touch-ups, so yeah. And the eyebrows are basically
I did Santa on radio, so I really didn't have to do that much.
There you go. And honestly, the way your beard looks now, you probably won't have to bleach your beard anymore.
Yeah, I only had black in my mustache. I've had a.
We have that little Hitler stash right there.
Yeah, that little Hitler stash.
Hitler stash. Yes, mein Führer. Anyway, so.
Christmas knock.
Christmas knock. Yes, I don't believe in Christmas at all. No, you would not have presents for you now. No, go step out of here. Anyway, so.
Yeah. You will have Christmas and you will enjoy it.
That's right. And you will get nothing.
Nothing. All right, you ready?
There'll be nothing.
All right. Are you ready for Susan's poem?
Oh yeah, I got to hear the poem. Yes.
All right. All right, hold on. Let's get her out here because I like to bring her all together, and then I'll put her on single screen here. Here's Susan. Hey.
Hi. Lest you mislead your listeners, I do love sports, but I'd rather be at the game. That part's true.
I think I did.
But Mark doesn't necessarily watch a game. He'll watch a rerun of a game. In fact, some of the games he watches aren't even full reruns. They're little clip shows of the game.
Yeah. So don't watch a 3.5-hour baseball game.
I would love to be. I don't mind baseball.
Watch 12 5-minute summaries of the game.
Did you see the Little League World Series? They had some good baseball. Mark and I would actually show up at Little League games and sit through the game and not know any of the kids playing because we love baseball that much.
We still do that. We have.
But I'd rather be at a high school football game than watch it on TV. That part's true.
Remember when William and Rafi started playing at a level where we enjoyed the game? Oh, it was like we had to
when they started playing real baseball, and it wasn't.
You got 8 kids. the youngest 2 boys went furthest playing organized sports. They played through high school, right? And when
the T-ball was the worst when they were real little, and it was 30-30 every game. And it was horrible. So boring.
Every kid is safe. Every kid scores. It was horrible. And so finally, we're playing a game where our kid is in a game that was the margin of victory was 1-0, and there were brush back pitches, right? Where
they were playing real baseball.
Where the pitcher had to send a message, it wasn't unsportsmanlike like it would have been in T-ball, or whatever that was. A brush patch, you don't throw a brush back pitch just to be a dick. I mean, there's a reason for a brush back pitch. I want that corner, And now when we finally had kids playing at that level, oh my God, baseball was great again. It was so much fun.
So they never had a brush back T-ball hit?
No.
But
because you set it on a tee, you can't have a brushback pitch. So,
but the best sport, of course, is anything with horses. So I'm a jockey wannabe, but I was vertically challenged.
Yeah, the problem was the expense of getting our kids into polo. We just couldn't afford it.
Yeah. I actually have played polo. Actually,
wow.
I have.
You tried the bicycle version?
No, you ride a horse.
I know, but did you try the bicycle version of polo?
No, I want to ride the horse. So that's my athleticism is I know how to ride. But
when I was growing up, the closest we came was to play Marco Polo. So that's
Marco Polo. Yes, I played that too. All right, you want your poem?
I sure do.
Okay, here it is. Harris and Trump squabble over the rules of debate. One candidate spews half-truths, lies, and hate. France confirms Pavel Durov was detained at this time. The Telegram billionaire was arrested for cybercrime. Just what is the Telegram, you might be asking? An encrypted messaging service since 2013. A tragedy from what should have been fun as an ice cave collapses in Iceland killed one.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, if you want to see a spectacle in Iceland blow, visit the volcano in Reykjanes Peninsula for a big show. That's your poem.
All right. Thank you. Let's get
There's so much tragedy in the world. I couldn't find the little happy story this week.
The Paralympics are starting this week. That should make people happy.
Yeah, so next week I'll have some fun stuff to report.
Sounds good. Let's get your friends out here so you can say hi before you have to take off. Here's our buddy from New York, Sam Greenfield. Hey, Sam.
Boy, talk about your upbeat prose.
and here's our man about town in Ypsilanti. Here's Jason Grant, everybody. Oh man, was that you coming out of Angie Dickinson's breasts? Is that what that was?
Well, I know what you guys think of me, that I emerged from a vagina and never looked back. However, that's not entirely true. Sorry, guys.
Well, who doesn't love Angie Dickinson?
I love Angie Dickinson.
She's 92.
Great.
Is she still alive?
You know what?
No, she's dead, but she's 92. Wake up!
If she called me up for a date right now,
is she alive?
No,
she's
but do you know who
92.
else? Do you know who else is 92? Both Barbara Eden and Barbara Feldon.
Yep.
You're kidding.
I always like Barbara Feldon because her name sounds like something a Jewish person would say. Have you met Barbara Feldon?
Have you met Barbara Feldon?
Is that Barbara Feldon?
Well, what about Eden? That's where the Jews came from, was Eden. So Barbara Eden.
No, but Barbara Eden is, as my mother would say, a true shiksa. No, there's nothing Jewish about that. She's very pretty, but no.
But Angie Dickinson, Barbara Eden, and Barbara Feldon. All
99.
99.
Ain't it 99? Yeah.
And
Remember when Toto came out with that song 99 and everybody wondered if it was about Get Smart and
nobody
also did a song Rosanna, which was about Rosanna Arquette.
Really?
Oh, really?
That makes sense. Yeah,
one of the guys in the band was dating her, and you heard of One Hit Wonders? That band won 6 Grammys, and then nothing.
wow.
6 Grammys is a lot of goddamn Grammys,
and
then nothing. And also Toto, the same thing. A host of Grammys, Boston as well, a whole bunch of Grammys. And
Boston lost some Boston lost some key players. They lost their lead singer.
Well, their lead singer killed himself.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Although it didn't stop Chicago. A suicide lead singer did not stop Chicago.
Terry Kath was playing with a gun, and it went off, and unfortunately for him, near his skull.
Yes. And Brad Delp was busy with a bunch of grills that he had lit up in the house, and
Yeah, so
went out.
there's that.
Yeah,
But they were all had great voices, and the one guy who has gone on and on. By the way, did anyone here watch CBS Sunday Morning? They had a segment on the Rolling Stones.
Oh,
really?
I'll
Yes,
have to check
because
that
they
out.
came out
I
with a
have
new
Paramount-
album.
I have Paramount
Wow.
Plus, so I can check out my Sunday morning anytime I want. So.
No, they came out with a new album.
What's the album?
Rolling Stones come up with a new album.
Something Diamonds. I can't remember
Hackney
the name
Diamond.
of it.
Hackney
Well,
Diamond.
it has to be Diamonds because the Stones don't roll no more. They're too damn old.
They do, indeed. They
Yeah,
are.
tell that to the average 23,000 people at each concert they played.
Yeah.
23,000.
23.
Son,
Well,
those boys
I-
are richer than Roosevelt.
I haven't been to a Stones concert since 76 or 77.
Wow.
And that's when they were
Nice.
76.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No,
Well-
Mick is 82. Keith is 81. And Ron Wood, who is the most frightening looking white man I've ever seen in my life. God, oh my kids, if you keep up that lifestyle, that's what you're going to look like when
That's
you're
what-
30.
Yeah.
All right, how old
Yeah.
is Ron Wood?
77. He's a punk kid.
Yeah. He's the baby.
Mm.
He's
Wow.
he's the kidling.
But
Bill,
Keith Richards is still married to the same girl.
40
That
years
I
now.
mean, Patty. I can't. Well,
Patty
Wood.
Richards. Patty Richards.
over
No,
40
not Patty
years now.
Richards. Patty something. Anyway, and she's from Staten Island, but they've been together 40 years.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Live in Connecticut.
No, Staten Island.
No, they have a place in Connecticut.
They
The-
do
the
have a
Richards.
place in Connecticut, and I heard, and I can't believe this. He quit smoking.
What?
Yeah.
Boy, that's
Yeah,
going to hurt
and,
his reputation.
Better late
Well,
than never.
I guess so.
You've heard the old expression: every cigarette you smoke takes 3 minutes off your life, and gives it to Keith Richards. So
Well, it's also true that the minute you stop smoking,
Patty
you
Hansen.
start getting Patty Hansen. That's it. You start getting better immediately.
Yep.
As soon as you stop smoking, which doesn't explain my track record, but hey, I quit smoking. So what happened? Well, I got cancer. I had a heart attack. I have multiple myeloma. I have a blood clot, and I was arrested for statutory rape. But except for that, it's been going.
Well, those charges didn't hold up in court, Sam. So I think you don't even really need to mention.
Well, that's
it at this
because they
point.
caught me threatening her.
Well,
Well, here's I got some Patty Hansen news I bet you guys hadn't heard.
What's that?
She had a cancerous bladder removed and replaced with a new one they constructed out of her own intestines.
Oh wow.
Stop
I've
it! You're,
done that.
you're getting me aroused.
About to say I've done that before, but it wasn't in a professional setting. It was.
By the way, you know that show Chopped,
Yeah.
cooking show.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you open up this box and you have to cook something out of what's in it, right?
Oh.
Mhm.
And this was the ingredients in one of the things. You ready?
Sure.
Pig uterus.
Absolutely, one of my favorites. And
They had a thing on that show, Master Chef, with Gordon Ramsay, and it was very unfair because one of the contestants was a Muslim, and they can't have pork. And
Mhm.
one of the ingredients in the thing was pork, and she had never eaten pork, touched pork, anything in her life, and she lost. They should have been a
Well.
little more considerate. And if she was an Orthodox Jew, it would have been the same thing. They ought to have some consideration for that. Although, one time a woman on that show who won was, remember, these are chefs, who won was, you ready? Blind.
oh, I love it.
Blind.
I hope her night.
Well, she had
skills
someone
are-
with her, who told her where things were. Good thing she liked her. No,
Yeah.
it just smells like battery acid. No, it's okay. No, but that was amazing. And now she owns her own restaurant, or so they told her.
Oh
No.
God.
Really.
Keith Richards and Patty Hansen have been together since 1979. where they met. Want to hear this? Where they met? This is so 1979. They met at Studio 54.
That makes sense.
What's amazing is they met at
Hanson.
Studio 54 and they got married. That's what's amazing.
Yeah.
They've been together 45 years.
It was her 23rd birthday, and Jerry Hall was there and invited her to Richard's 36th birthday. So he was 13 years older than she was. She was 23. He was just turning 36. And they've been together how long? 40 something.
Yeah.
By the way,
he'd been with Anita Pallenberg, though. I mean, so.
Anita Pallenberg, God, good times.
Oh my God! Talk about a monster on two legs.
So I shot him. So what? You people are so picky. Okay, he touched my vajiji. What kills me is rarely do I hear someone got married and I break out laughing. But when Jerry Hall married Rupert Murdoch, I burst out laughing. I just said, "You have got to be shitting me," because here's how that marriage took place. Okay, listen, I'm going to give you $15 million. You're going to stay with me for 18 months. Okay, if you don't kill me, you get another 5.
I like
because that. I don't know if that marriage lasted 2 years.
I like.
And didn't he get married again?
Yep.
I mean, that's just amazing. By the way, am I wrong about this, or if I heard nothing out of Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump?
Yeah,
like
what's
in
that
a month?
About?
Huh?
What's that all about?
I don't understand. I mean, I've never seen two sons more loyal to their father, but I mean nothing. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, listen, it cannot be because he's behind in the polls. It can't be because he's been behind in the polls in other elections. So it can't be that. I don't know.
Murdoch's current wife, Elena Zukova.
Rupert That's Murdoch's his new wife?
Elena Zukova.
Murdoch's new wife?
Yeah.
And did you see that Clint Eastwood's constant gal pal, who was all of 61 years old, passed away a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, I did see that.
That's his fifth wife. It's his fifth wife.
Who, Murdoch?
Yep.
My
fifth
God.
wife.
He must have a great prenup. It's got to be like you said, Sam, just sort of like ink in a new name, just get some white out, put it over the old one, and.
Well, I was told by a lawyer, a divorce. Well, they call them matrimonial lawyers, and boy, is that a euphemism. But I was told by a matrimonial lawyer that if someone's been married for the second time and they don't have a prenup, they're insane.
Yeah, you're just. I remember Suzanne Plachette was on the Johnny Carson show many years ago, and she presented Johnny with an embroidered pillow that she had made, and she said she had Joanna's name on there in Velcro, which I thought was a nice touch.
God, that's funny.
That's funny.
But she was married to her husband. Suzanne Plachette was married to her husband forever. Did you ever see her do? Now I can't remember that broad's name. What was her name? Damn it!
She always had that husky voice, that was just.
Well, that was
Vaccaro?
Huh?
Yeah.
Was it Brenda Vaccaro?
What was that woman's name? Helmsley.
Oh,
Leona Helmsley.
Oh, Leona.
Yeah.
Did you ever see her, Leona Helmsley,
yes,
perform?
It was a
she was great.
Yes, although I liked Leona Helmsley because at least you understood who and what she was. It was no, there was no pretense. Same thing goes with what's her name? God, we're all getting old. The one who went to jail in the early 2000s. She's the diva. With
Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart.
Yeah, she's another one who you just know this woman is not a nice person. She's not easy
Martha
to get
Stewart
along
is
with.
Bernadette of Lourdes next to Leona Helmsley.
Well, Leona Helmsley did own the Empire State Building. I mean, so
yeah, but she fired a guy for like virtually no reason And her assistant said, "You can't fire him. He's got 5 kids." She said, "Well, should have kept his zipper up." But,
God, it's like Doris Duke.
But she screwed herself when she said, the famous only little people pay taxes.
Only the little people pay. Well, she was right though.
Yeah, and she went to jail for more than a little time.
I know, but what she said was not wrong. That the way the system was worked, the rich are very good at not paying a dime.
What was wrong was saying it out loud.
Bitch and moan, bitch and moan.
Exactly. Here you go. Just like Doris Duke, who married or was engaged to a man from Santo Domingo, who the reason why she kept him around as long as she did, because apparently he was equipped, much like they said, like a pepper mill, whatever that might mean.
A baby's arm.
More like a Louisville Slugger. And although they did have a little bit of a spat once, and she ended up running him over with his own rented car.
By the way, not only a Louisville Slugger, but signed by Aaron Judge.
Then she turned around and sued the rental car company for negligence for the car. And so, oh God, if you ever want to have fun, Doris Duke, there was that was a sweetheart. That would have been an enchanting sort of relationship to be in.
You know that show I love to watch, Biography?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I recorded today that I'm going to watch later about the twin brothers, the Krays.
Oh, okay.
Ronnie and I can't remember the other brother.
Were those the British
yes,
gangsters?
Yes. When they did 2 movies about them. In one of the movies, the Kemp brothers, who were Spandau Ballet, portrayed them. But in the other, it was Tom Hardy, and I can't remember. Oh no, Tom Hardy played both.
Well, that's an interesting way
Tom
to
Hardy
save money.
played both, and oh my God, he was so great. He was so great. But when it was the Kemp brothers, they're being interviewed, and the interviewer says, "Now, is it true that you know the Beatles?" And he goes, "No, the Beatles know us."
Yeah.
The Monty Python did a parody of those two.
Dimsdale and Luigi Piccati.
Exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dimsdale was tossing a nuclear weapon around in his hand. It's just so we sort of said, okay, nuclear weapon, understand, no problem.
Tom Hardy's portrayal of Ronnie Kray, the crazier one, was much better than the Kemp brothers, because he was more sinister and more. There's a certain kind of violence. It's quiet violence.
Yes.
And that was Kray. He wasn't like overt with it.
Because I remember seeing the first Kray movie you're talking about, and that was also when stylistically there was sort of this convergence between making a music video and making a movie.
Right, right.
Didn't much care for it. Alien 3 is one of the victims of that particular era. David Fincher directed that, and the only thing he'd done previous to that was a couple of Madonna videos, which, again, if you want to direct Madonna in a video, that's fine. That's one thing. But that doesn't mean you're ready to walk in the shoes of Ridley Scott or the guy who did Aliens 2. Cameron? I mean,
James Cameron.
Yeah, James Cameron. You're not ready to do that. And instead, they make some stylistic noir movie about the alien existing on another. It's like, no, God,
Speaking of that genre,
yes.
My wife and I last night watched on TV. I think it was on maybe Hulu. We watched Furiosa.
Oh.
And let me say this, because I feel a kinship with all 3 of you. Don't. Don't. Jump cut editing, moving way too fast. She liked it, but she likes that kind of movie. And I said to her, she said, "Would you recommend this movie?" I said, "Yes, if I really dislike the person."
Yeah, I remember watching Andy Warhol's. It was either Flesh or Trash, where he was using just tons and tons. And Warhol didn't even have, but it was Paul Morrissey, I think, who actually made the movies. And
Well,
it was all
Warhol would
jump
give
cuts.
people drugs and then film them over ODing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was all things that he did. The whole
Valerie Scalina.
yep. Uh, it was that time, you know. I mean, it was not a particularly oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, Lou Reed, remember he does that one great album that's so difficult to listen to, Street Hassle, which is basically 30 minutes of industrial noise, but there's various parts of dialogue that are interspersed. One of them is this guy talking about bringing his girl to a party where she overdoses, and another guy says, well, you need to get rid of her, man, because you know you brought her here. Just take her out into the street and tell her she got run over in traffic. But you know, this is 1973, 74. So I mean, it really kind of captures the sort of cynicism of that era.
I was in a bookstore in 1980, and Lou Reed was there with Laurie Anderson, his wife.
Nice. Yep.
And God, I thought she was untalented. But anyway, a guy walks up. Well, you know, it's personal taste. I just thought she sucked.
Yeah, if
anyway,
you ever heard "Oh Superman" tripping your balls off, that was crazy. Go on.
Anyway, so this guy walks up to Lou Reed, and you know how you can smell disaster coming? Just smell it. He walks up to Lou Reed, and the first words he says is, "Hey, man." I went,
"Oh, no."
Apologize and run out of the room.
Exactly.
Yeah. Apologize now because you're going to say something bad.
Right.
And so he walks up to Lou Reed. I saw this. God, I wish I'd had a camera, a video camera. He walks up to me and goes, hey, Lou. Take a walk on the wild side.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No, please.
No,
and Lou Reed goes, come here for a second. Come here. Can you hear me? He says, can you hear me? He says, if you don't move more than 3 feet away from me, I'm going to squeeze your nuts till you cry. And I went, and wouldn't it have been great if the guy said, no, you.
As I've mentioned many times, I grew up right down the street from Iggy and the Stooges. So, I mean, I knew these guys when they were still practicing in their mama's basement. But if you think I would have gotten anywhere near Lou Reed without an invitation to approach.
Or security.
No, exactly. You know, because a notoriously difficult man, wildly talented. He was a wildly talented man.
You can be both.
Yeah, exactly.
You can be both. You can be wildly talented. I mean, you know, people don't know this about Burt Reynolds.
A hustle here, a hustle there.
New York City.
People don't know this about the guy behind you.
Yes.
Jason.
Burt, yeah.
He hated Boogie Nights.
Yep.
Yeah.
He not only he took a swing at Paul Thomas Anderson.
Well, that's not
the movie he got nominated for.
Yes,
yeah.
he fired his agent over it.
Yep.
Wow.
And by the way, he was great in it.
Yes. And you know, coming up in the theater many years before, he had actually been a stagehand on several productions that featured Jonathan Harris of Lost in Space. Yeah, who was actually a stage actor for many years before getting out west. You know, and becoming who he was. And do you remember the Bill Dana show? I've only seen a few clips of it, but that's kind of where he made where Jonathan Harris made his bones.
I not only remember the movie show, I can tell you Bill Dana's real name.
Oh, please tell me. I must know.
William Smathsbury.
Bill Dana's much better. Yeah, that's
Hungarian. And his brother, David Smathsbury, was a professor of comparative literature at Princeton.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. No, I mean, sort of an academic family.
Yeah,
I mean, just like, no, I mean, Al Brooks. His one brother is Super Dave, and the other one is the head of one of the biggest advertising firms. I mean, a lot of these,
but that just to me means they're all superbly talented.
Well, yeah, and also a Hungarian. There's something in the water over there. There's a reason why Edward Teller and John von Neumann are Hungarians, and those are two of the most important people who've ever lived. And not particularly easy to get along with, especially not von Neumann, but the other one, Louis Teller, decidedly awful human being. but freaking genius. Yeah, just
Well, people, and I understand this. People forgive a lot when it comes to genius
yes,
because they're geniuses.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, what was that thing I saw? I was watching a roast of Tom.
Is that Lindsey Graham behind you, Jason? Is that
Close, Forrest Tucker.
Or sucker.
No, it's not
That's
Lindsey
true.
Graham because he's not kneeling.
No. In
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
I do have I've got another great Forrest Tucker pic of his crotch, because Milton Berle was supposed
So
to be
that's
the
a
big
wide
man.
angle lens.
Forrest Tucker was actually the big man of Hollywood for many, many years. He really was the just pull out enough to win.
Hung like a
Go-
shin bone.
Oh my God. I mean, and am I jealous? And the answer is absolutely, no doubt about it. But hey,
I'm going to tell you, Rich Jenny used to do this joke. He said, there are people who say it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion of the ocean. It's not the size of the chimney. It's not the size of the Yule log. It's the way you set it on fire. And you know who says that? Guys with really small dicks.
Small dick. Oh,
I miss Rich Jenny. God, he was so funny.
One of my favorite lines of his is he goes, I miss him. 90% of the men in this country admit to masturbating, and the other 10% don't have arms. Oh, was he funny? Oh my God.
That's good.
I saw him about a month before he died.
We get it, Jason. We get it. Okay? Just do it. All right.
What is that?
Forrest
It's
Tucker.
Forrest Tucker's penis. I think that's what it is.
So he couldn't do the pole vault either. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The best loss ever.
Yeah. I'm sorry you lost. Are you? Are you?
Are you going to go with that? You're going to go with sorry?
By the way, the guy who is the editor-in-chief or publisher of New Yorker magazine, is it New Yorker? Yeah, the New Yorker.
You tell me.
He judges all. He's the final say on all of their cartoons.
Oh, okay. What a great job.
But and how great is he at it? I mean, he doesn't miss. But my favorite joke they asked him what's his favorite joke, and it's this one, and it's not my favorite, but this is a brilliant joke. Okay, you know those little Russian dolls? You take out one, and there's one after it, and there's one after it, and there's one after it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a Russian doll like that standing at a movie theater, right? And the ticket taker goes, "One, really?"
Very funny.
Oh,
Very
man.
funny.
Oh man, God, that's great. And the other one I remember, and this is like 50 years ago. These two guys are at a bar in Manhattan, and it's getting to be dusk, and you see this mob of people running towards the horizon, and one of the guys says, "I'll be damned, the Republicans have found a viable alternative."
Do you remember the ads for New York Life that always had that New Yorker style cartoon, and the punchline was always the same? My life insurance company, New York Life. Why? But there was always something in the portrait.
Impending disaster.
Exactly. I love those.
By the way, these commercials for pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Is
that ambulance in Lower Manhattan, or is it in Michigan?
What you hear down? Yeah, that's actually my landlord.
At Lower East Side.
But I love when they go, you take something for, let's say, for psoriasis, and they go, now warning, can cause you to commit suicide.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll stick with the blotch. Okay. Yeah. I'm good with the blotch.
Causes suicide. Right.
Or how about when they say, should not take this if you're allergic to the ingredients that are contained in this?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love I went to get a refill for the Lovenox that I'm injecting.
Yeah.
So I called them today. I don't need it. I've got 5 more days, but I like to be proactive on these things and have it, in the house.
Right.
And I call, and they say it'll be ready by 11 o'clock. This is at 9 o'clock. It'll be ready by 11 o'clock. I said, okay. I get there at 1:30. Now, walking for me is tough right now because of the clot. And I had to walk after I got off the bus. City bus. I had to walk 5.5 blocks. So the first 3 blocks are okay, and then the next 2 were very tough. So I get to the pharmacy, and I go, "Hi, I'm here for the Lovenox Greenfield," and he goes, "Oh, it won't be here till 4." I said, "Then why did you say it would be ready by 11?" "Well, we thought it would be." I said, "Well, we were on the phone. We actually talking to each other. So why couldn't you have told me then it won't be here?" And the guy goes, "Oh, yeah." He said, "Well, we can deliver it." I said, "How much does that cost?" He goes, $13. I said, "Are you going to pay for it?" He goes, "No." I said, "Even though you were wrong?" He goes, "No, I'm not paying for it." I said, "See you tomorrow." So Barbara said, "Well, you should have called." And she's right. I should have called ahead. But the guy said, "It'll absolutely be there by 11. Okay, see, now I gotta shoot somebody. I hate that.
Hey, Jason.
Sir.
Is that Kathy Ladman in your picture there?
I believe
No,
that's
our vice president.
That's Kamala. That's Kamala.
Oh, okay.
Kamala Harris, huh?
Yeah. It's not an unflattering picture. It's just a picture of
She was young and pretty at the time, I have a question. And this isn't like me going like all out on Trump, but I want to know why you think this is everybody. He's being reluctant to debate her.
He's not,
because now it's like, I don't want to debate on ABC because Jonathan Karl sucks. Stop it! Come on, why won't he debate her?
He will debate her. She's what I'm hearing is that it's her camp that's playing games with whether the mics are live or not, and this and that. It's a
she wants the same rules they had for the first one.
No, she doesn't.
She wants the exact same rules that they had for the first one.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Her campaign doesn't want the mics turned off like Biden did.
Right.
Well, doesn't that work to Trump's advantage?
What, to have the mics off?
On.
No, it doesn't work to his advantage. Here's the problem that Joe Biden had with the mics off. Trump was still saying shit that he could hear, but nobody else could hear.
Well, so what?
You want those mics on.
What does she want?
No.
She wants the mics on.
She wants whatever they tell her to do.
I'm sorry, that went right by me.
She wants whatever her handlers. I mean, come on, guys. 2 months ago, she was not even in this, right?
Well,
I mean, she is right now.
Jason. If the big state was as big as they say they were, we would have had you shot a long time ago. So
I keep waiting. You promise and you promise, and yet I've worn T-shirts with targets and saying, "Come on, pussy, do it," and yet, right here. I mean, what more do I need? No, it's not about. I'm not talking about. I mean, it's more like the Democrats more than anything, because Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, and Chuck Schumer went up there and did the same thing to him that Al Haig and the other senators did 50 years ago to Nixon, and they told him no.
And Goldwater.
This is over. Yeah, Goldwater, and said no, it's over. You're out. You are out. And
everyone who I've seen interviewed said, "You're right about," and this is going to be you or me. "You're right about Schumer. You're right about Jeffries. Nancy Pelosi never called him, never talked to him about it. The other two, yes, she did not. And the reason she didn't, listen, I'm not a big fan of hers.
I am.
But I believe that. I believe that. Because she has no reason. Listen, she has no reason to lie. Think about this. Yes, I'm responsible for us having a dynamic candidate who is now whipping Trump's ass. She would admit it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, she is the consummate again, even though I'm not on her side, if you think that I can't respect that this woman who's been Speaker of the House twice, has engineered majorities on several occasions, and understands politics at a level that I wished I could understand.
You know what?
If you,
You know what I don't
I mean,
understand.
you know, this woman knows how to maneuver. She does.
Oh,
If
she's a master.
if you underestimate her, your intestines will come back to you in a
It'll be on
basket.
your epitaph that you underestimated her.
Exactly. If you have an epitaph, if you're lucky enough to have a tombstone, if she lets
She,
you have one.
the thing I don't understand. I will never understand this guy. I will never understand Lindsey Graham. I will never understand when someone says to him, Trump said he doesn't care what you think. And he goes, well, he's a very man, Jesus, what does he have to how much does he have to humiliate you before you say, yeah, that wasn't right? Jesus, I mean, this isn't even Republican or
Because
Democrat, because Lyndon Johnson did the same thing to Hubert Humphrey. Okay,
oh
the
God,
exact
yes.
same thing.
Oh God,
But
yes.
and Johnson used to brag. He goes, boys, I got Hubert's balls right here in my pocket.
Yeah,
Same
I
thing,
mean, Eisenhower did the same thing to Nixon.
right?
Eisenhower wanted to kick him off the ticket in 52, but then he did the checkers speech, and he wanted to toss him off in 56 because he felt he was not presidential material. And by 1960, he was actually proved right. Nixon was right about a lot of things, but Kennedy basically beat his ass in a close election. And
But the
Joe
thing the
Kennedy,
thing about Kennedy that no one talks about, when they say that the voting in Chicago was rigged,
it was.
and I don't doubt that it was, but the reason Nixon never bitched about it is because, and we talked about this, is that
Yeah,
voting in Southern Illinois was rigged for the Republicans,
right.
so he couldn't bitch too much because that would have come up.
Well, and plus he knew that what, he was still a young man. There would be, this was not the time to tear the country apart.
And he made a fortune as a lawyer.
Oh yeah. Although he did not become a part of Sullivan Cromwell, which was the big powerhouse. It's
No,
still
he
around,
did
by the way.
Nixon, Rose, and Mudge was the name
Yeah,
of the law firm.
yeah.
But he made a fortune. And by the way, throughout his life, every president after him, including Clinton, came to him for advice on foreign affairs.
Absolutely.
Except Clinton thought it was, listen, I know this chick from Czechoslovakia, so it was a little different. It wasn't quite the same thing, I know this Czech chick, and
Well, I to this day do not understand two things: why Al Gore kept Bill Clinton in the White House in 2000, and why did Hillary Clinton keep him out of the spotlight in 2016? Because Bill Clinton was the best Democrat president and politician of my
I'll
life.
tell you why. This is just my opinion, but I think that subconsciously, Bill Clinton didn't want her to be president. I think that he didn't want her to be president, and that he would have just screwed her over. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Not so that the public could notice, but like late for this, or she, where does your speech go? That kind of. No. I think that his ego is, at the time, I don't know if it's still there, but his ego at the time was like, I don't want her to be president. I do not want her to be president.
Again, I mean, you might argue that maybe Obama was a better politician, and there is an argument to be made there. But I still think that Bill Clinton was a better candidate, was a better political operator than just about anybody I've seen in my lifetime.
The difference between Obama and Clinton is that Obama's hands are completely clean.
Yes, because he had David Axelrod, whose hands
That's
are
right.
not.
You're right. But his hand, there was no Paula Jones, there was no nobody. He
How
was
many
married
times
to the woman he loved. He never screwed around, and that was a huge. That's what hurt Clinton. That's what hurt him.
But after a while, it didn't matter. It got baked into the cake. No one cared. By the time he was impeached, people, even Republicans, were like, "Why are we?"
Oh no, he was at 66% approval at the day he was impeached.
By the time he left office, he was one of the most popular presidents we'd ever had. Truman wasn't.
By the way,
Eisenhower wasn't.
Every once in a while, Sam watches Fox News.
Why?
Okay, so I've always watched Fox News during the
Oh, my
Democratic
God.
convention. No,
Oh.
and I'll tell you why.
Oh.
Because I'm watching it, and the first words that come, they'll have a guest on, and the first words that come out of my mouth when I'm watching the guest they have, they go, him? And who did they have? Who did they have? Newt Gingrich.
Oh, they got what did they kill a goat in a pentagram and invoke him from beyond the grave?
You know, the last thing I saw Newt Gingrich do was doing an ad for fraud. You know what I'm talking about.
The life alert or what hack alert or something like
yes,
that.
yes, yeah. They'll hack into your bank account. He was doing an ad for that, and I just thought, if any guy can say, "Hey, folks, no one knows crooks better than me," so let me tell you.
I mean, if you throw holy water on him, he starts screaming that it burns.
I want to meet the people who drank that. Is it you drink it? Do you drink the holy water? Is that it?
Is that what you just kind of splash it around?
But I love this.
You drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
then the holy water.
You sprinkle the holy water. You drink the Kool-Aid. You drink the Kool-Aid.
I watch these ads, right? And I got a check in the mail for $37,500. And I go, really? What? Really? But I want to see the guy who goes, I drank the holy water, and the next day I was getting my stomach pumped.
Oh God!
But that guy Peter Popoff, if there's ever been a porn name, it's Peter Popoff.
And he's been busted several times, with the little radio device. The Amazing Randy had him more than a few times. But yet, if you were a guy like Gene Scott, who promised you nothing, who sat in his chair
and that's what you got.
It said, "Send me money," and people did.
Was he the guy with the beard with the wide brim?
Yes.
With the wide brim hat and the sour personality.
Let me ask you guys a question. What would happen if we all got together and chipped in bought an ad in the National Enquirer, and all the ad said was, send $5 or $10 and we will tell you 5 ways you can achieve true peace and happiness? How much money do you think we would get?
Oh, a lot of money.
Seriously.
A lot of money.
100,000 maybe?
Yeah.
Then why aren't we doing it?
We might have a modicum of honesty between the four of us.
There's no dishonesty. You send these people via an email a list of 5 things that will make you happier. No, you don't send them nothing. You send them a list of 5 things that will make them happier.
What, a subscription to Pornhub, fentanyl?
No. One, dump that bitch you're with now. That kind of thing. No, but if you actually give them a list of 5 things, then you're in the clear.
Play Santa Claus.
Play Santa Claus.
Number 2.
Only eat whole wheat matzah.
There we go.
No heavy foods after 8.
Walk. Don't ride.
Don't eat sweets.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll get an ache and ruin your tum-tum.
Guys, do you remember when you could eat almost a whole pizza by yourself after 11 p.m. after drinking all night long and feel great?
I remember being 20. Yeah. What about it?
Yeah, I was about to say, if I were to try that now, they would have to show up to remove the corpse. And
once a month. Yeah. Once a month. I keep my weight down because I don't eat after 6 o'clock. That's like a big deal.
Right.
Once a month, I go to McDonald's and I have 2 cheeseburgers, a fillet of fish, and medium fries. Once a month.
That's your cheat day? Is that your?
Well, I'm easy. And
wire hangers.
Oh,
there you go.
Man, God Almighty!
I just saw the Thomas Crown Affair, the 1968 version of the Thomas Crown Affair.
Was she the queen?
And she's 26 years old, and she is so fucking beautiful. Pardon my language. She is so
she was
beautiful
gorgeous
in that movie, and she's against Steve McQueen, exactly, who's also so incredibly beautiful.
Yes.
In the movie, and again, Norman Jewison, who somehow or another has become forgotten.
What a director!
I don't know why.
What a goddamn director!
Yeah, I mean, and what's his name? The guy who was his assistant director is the guy who directed The Last Detail. I forget his name. Ashby. Yeah,
Hal Ashby.
Hal Ashby was his AD, and I think he was director of photography, but I'd have to check that. But it is a perfect movie. Michel Legrand in the soundtrack, The Windmills of Your Mind, and
Windmills.
Wait a minute. We cannot talk movies until I'm sure that everyone in this group has seen The Offer.
Oh yeah.
No, I have not.
It is now on YouTube, so I will see it.
It's on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I will pay money. I will watch it. So
it's called The Offer. What do you got to pay money to see it on YouTube? I thought YouTube was
well, they sell a few things now and then.
No, they have a YouTube movie channel that you have to pay. By the way,
yes.
You know that movie Citizen Cone?
Yes, I've got to see that one. That's next on my list.
With James Woods, right?
Yeah.
I tried to watch it on YouTube.
Right.
And unfortunately, everybody's voice sounded exactly like this. And it wasn't really encouraging.
They do stuff like that to get around copyright blocks and all that. So
is that the reason they do it?
Yeah, it's a bootleg copy. I mean, if you go like to an HBO or maybe there's a listing where you pay and you actually watch it, and because again, James Woods is amazing.
The cast of Citizen Cone: Pat Hingle.
Yeah.
Daniel Hugh.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Hugh Kelly, Joe Don Baker.
Yes.
What's his name?
God, I always wanted to see
James Woods.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would really be upset.
Ayn Rand sex tape was always something I was looking forward to, but
I would really be upset if I discovered that James Woods isn't getting work because of his politics. That would really piss me off.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, this is my impression. This is my impression of the roll call for the Republican Party. Georgia, 62 votes. And here's the Democratic one. Georgia, and now here's Little John.
Yeah.
And now here's the Republicans. Please welcome Kid Rock. Now here's the Democrats. Please welcome Stevie Wonder. God damn. I mean,
Did you know that Ypsilanti was?
Do you remember 72?
The Democratic convention.
What was
it? It was on the Daily Show. So what they did they came in that close to the Michigan delegation, and they watched the leaders mess up what they were saying, and then they went back to the Daily Show guy and says, "How could you mess up that stuff? My gosh, you got a town that says Ypsilanti, you can pronounce it correctly, for God's sakes."
By the way, your governor hit it out of the park.
Oh, she's great.
She's hot.
Solid. I feel.
Yeah, let's not discount the hot factor.
The last 100 years.
Yeah, let's not poo-poo the hot factor.
Oh yeah, all right.
Because my governor looks like she just killed 101 Dalmatians.
Kathy Sokol?
Oh, God.
Yeah. She looks like, and that goes for your dog too. I mean,
it's another one who got her job by putting.
You put my poster of Gretchen next to my poster of.
Well, Coco absolutely got her job because Cuomo couldn't keep his hands off women.
Amongst other things, yeah, but
you know what I love about him?
Time to wrap it up.
About him, he goes, hey, what about it? So I touched a broad. Fuck me.
So I got my Gretchen poster right next to my Farrah Fawcett poster. Right there we go.
We're running short on time. It's 38 seconds till the end.
Yeah. I just want to say thanks for showing up, you guys. It's these four guys every night, and my wife Susan reads our poem. We'd like to have everybody
Susan,
get involved. So get in touch with me. We'll get you on the show. We'll figure out something. We can change the format if we need to. we just like this free for all we do because this is what comics do on their off night. We just sit back and jam. So
well, I have to inject myself and then watch Hannah. Hopefully
Oh,
not.
I'm gonna finish watching the Tigers finish off the White Sox. The White Sox, I think, are gonna. We need the Tigers to help the White Sox break.
That's not really a bragging point, is it?
No.
What? No, not right.
It's sort of like Kramer beating up on the kids in a karate class, you know.
My favorite thing was when Kramer he tripped up. Who was it? Was it Shaquille O'Neal? He was playing a ball boy. He tripped him up. Oh God! Oh God!